Hey, this is Alex, and welcome to Square One Review Channel. Today I'll be reviewing the new album from Fair to Midland called Arrows and Anchors. Now from my impression, or from what I understood of their previous albums, they had, again, all my opinions are subjective, so, don't hate, but their last efforts seemed to me like what they had was a few songs that were extremely developed and deep, and then a couple of other filler songs, which I hate that term because in my opinion, there aren't filler songs in any band. These are efforts that the band put in towards emotionally and developed and in their way. But it seemed like every effort prior to this album had some sort of like lack of balance, and like it was just not as developed. Okay, now this new album I'm completely impressed by. I would categorize it somewhere between progressive rock, like a not light rock, but kind of like an alternative meets experimental and indie, and then they've got some parts that are like very, very heavy, like extremely heavy. Nothing along the lines of like a death metal or a deathcore or anything brutal, but very heavy. They have a lot of instrumental pieces on their new album and some really weird kind of tracks, which leads me to believe that the album is conceptual. I haven't gotten into the album enough or even Fair to Midland enough to know whether or not this is a conceptual album. If that is the truth and you know this or you've experienced that, please leave your comments about that. I'd love to know what you think, but overall I'd rate the album somewhere between a B and an A-. Like I really like the album, which that means a lot to me because like I rarely give any albums like an A+. The album is really... So if you've heard Fair to Midland before, it might have been the song that kind of made them popular, which was Dance of the Manatee. In that song, which to me, up to this album, was their best effort yet, they have a lot of everything, like an alternative sound and like a heavy sound, with the vocals being kind of the determination of how that is being perceived as a listener. They have like some heavy vocals and then some light vocals. That song kind of to me was very reminiscent of a band which I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of, called In Aviare. And also it had moments like that sounded like Dredge, and then moments that sounded just very like progressive rock or progressive metal, if you will. If you take that song and dissected it for everything that was worth, and dissected it for its qualities in that song, like parts where you were like, I like that, I like that, I like that, I like that. That's this entire album. What they've done is I think that they've grown on their strong points as a band and decided, okay, so this is what we're good at doing, and this is what people are awesome at responding at, and that this is what makes us our band. I think in essence what I'm trying to say is that they've discovered their style. They've grounded a style and gotten a great foundation for what might be a future band that at first seemed like a dying band. Because by the time Dance of the Manatee was a song that had caught on to a lot of people, that might have been distributed through some sort of social media sites, like the first time I heard them was through Last FM. By that time, that song had been released a long while before certain people had discovered it, or before the band even had some sort of like buzz to them. And they were a band that almost seemed drained by working on the road a lot and not seeing a lot of progress from it. I mean, go watch some of the interviews. These guys looked like tired and just drained from being in a band on the road. So I really hope that this new album does something for them, because I think it would. It's a really good effort. Again, Fair to Midland is the band, and the name of the album is Arrows and Anchors. Very good. I recommend you purchase the album. Again, this is Alex, Square One Review Channel, and that's been my review of Fair to Midland's new album.